Have you ever wondered on how to turn your aim in Call of Duty from this to having the aim of a top pro player? Well, in this video, I'm going to take you through the 7 fundamental secrets that will take you on the journey of getting the best aim possible, and will make sure everyone is super jealous of you when they end up spectating you as you're the last one standing once again. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have the best movement, the best positioning, or even the best guns in the game. If you're not landing your shots in Warzone 2, you'll never be able to pull off those insane clips that end up winning you the match and end up going viral. Now, before your aim ends up like this, we need to go to the beginning of your journey and the first fundamental secret to getting you the best aim possible, and that is finding the best sensitivity for you. Because this is where most people go wrong and are doomed to have bad aim forever, as they listen to the endless amounts of best settings videos on YouTube that always suggest a different sensitivity. So what should you use? There's a fundamental rule when it comes to sensitivity. The higher your sensitivity, the more reactive you can be, but the harder it is to control. So in order to find the best sensitivity for you, I'm going to show you exactly what I did that made me settle on a 6.6 sensitivity with a 0.85 ADS modifier that allows me to land all of my shots. What I did is hop into a private match with these settings and start on a low sensitivity, say a 4.4 with that 0.85 sensitivity modifier, because you always want your aim down sight speed to be slower than your moving sensitivity to take full advantage of the game's aim assist, which I'll explain a little later on in the video. I'd then start moving around the map and shooting bots at all kinds of distances, trying to replicate what I faced in Warzone, seeing if I was able to consistently control my aim and land my shots. If after 10 to 15 minutes I felt I had complete control, I'd then increase my sensitivity by 1 to a 5.5 and repeat the process, until I got to a sensitivity where I was overextending my aim and didn't have that control that I needed, which for me was at 7.7, so 6.6 was my sweet spot. So take your time and find what works best for you, as everyone is different. The next fundamental secret to getting better aim is something that top players call centering. It's something I've been telling my friends to do for years, and they always notice a huge improvement in their aim once they start consciously doing it. Now, what centering is where your crosshairs are aiming whilst you're moving around the map. Now here's an example, because if you watch your gameplay back, you may notice that you'll be doing things like aiming at the sky or the ground, or even just at the side of a wall, which is never going to help your aim in a million years. However, what you should be doing is aiming your crosshairs at the most likely position that you feel an enemy could appear. This could be a doorway, a window, or even the crest of a hill. Want to know the best part about this? By centering your aim at those positions, you're already aiming at a potential opponent before they're even on your screen, instantly improving your aim before you've even started shooting. Because when a player does appear, all you've got to do is press your left and right trigger to take them down without needing to adjust your aim, also giving your opponent the least amount of time to react. Now I know what you're thinking, how can you go about improving your centering? Well, there's a couple of things that you can do. Firstly, be aware it's something that you need to be doing, because it was something that I really struggled with until I competed with Shane for a couple of years, who is now the coach for the 100 Thieves Call of Duty team that just won champs. He used to tell me over and over again to be that little bit faster in centering my aim on the danger points, and I'll tell you what, it works. I won a lot more of my gunfights, missed less of my shots, and it helped me win even more matches. The second thing you can do to practice your centering is by just going into a custom game and moving through a map, constantly centering your crosshairs at every potential danger point. And the more you do this, the faster and better you'll be able to do it. Not only improving your aim, but also your movement around the map. And you might feel silly at first, as you're moving through the map with no one actually shooting at you, but trust me, put this time in and you'll reap the rewards later on. So we've now got the best sensitivity, we're working on our centering, and we're getting closer to having the best aim possible. But it's now time to learn the third fundamental secret to getting better aim in Call of Duty, and it's the one you'll see so many people complaining about on Twitter: aim assist. Now, every controller player has aim assist, but not every player knows how to take full advantage of it. And I'll be honest with you, I wish I knew about these tricks that I'm about to teach you years ago, because they have the biggest impact on how consistent your aim is going to be in Call of Duty, period. There are two types of aim assist. Rotational, which we'll explain in just a minute, and then your regular aim assist. You'll also want to make sure you've got your aim assist type set to Black Ops in your settings. Regular aim assist is controlled with your right thumbstick. It gives you that sticky feeling when you aim at an opponent, so it's easier to adjust your aim to land those chest and headshots, but it really only helps with enemies that are standing still or are directly in front of you, which, as I'm sure you're aware, is pretty rare in Call of Duty, as everyone's always zigzagging and bunny hopping all over the place, which can make it hard to hit your shots if you're only using that right thumbstick. And that's where rotational aim assist comes into play, which you should be taking advantage of in every single gunfight. Rotational comes from your left thumbstick when you strafe from left to right, and it will keep your opponent through aim assist directly in front of you without even needing to touch your right thumbstick, as it will rotate your player's body, which, as you can imagine, makes it a lot easier to aim, no matter how much your opponent is moving around, or if they catch you off guard at close range. So, when you think of aiming, think of using both your left and right thumbsticks together, because that's what all the best players do. And it also always keeps you moving. When I discovered this, all the pieces of how to get the best aim possible just started beginning to fall into place. Every gunfight, I'd make sure to strafe the opposite way of my opponent. If they're running right, I'd go left where possible, giving me the tightest angle possible, almost as if we were attached together by a piece of string that you're trying to keep as tight as possible. Which then allows me, with my right thumbstick, to make sure that I'm landing upper chest and headshots, whilst making sure I'm able to control my gun's recoil perfectly, as a lot of the horizontal recoil is removed thanks to the rotational aim assist. Yeah, it's that big of a gameplay hack. Which brings us onto the fourth fundamental secret to getting the best aim, and it's how to control recoil perfectly. When I first started out, I always asked the question, how do these top players have no recoil? Is it the gun that they're using? Do they have some trick that I don't know about? Or, dare I say it, are they cheating? Well, the answer is actually quite simple. Yes, gun setups are important, and no, they're not using cheats, which is good news for us, as it means we're able to do it as well. Though there are a couple of tricks to controlling recoil. Firstly, make sure you know your gun's recoil pattern to know which way the gun kicks. You can do this by simply firing your gun at the wall and looking at the bullet holes. Secondly, you need to be gently pulling back that right thumbstick towards you and holding the tension to remove the vertical recoil. You should never be doing any drastic movements once you start firing with your thumbstick. It should all be slow and controlled. Thirdly, take distance into account. If your opponent is far away, you may want to burst fire so you get the initial firing bonuses, making it much easier to land your shots. You'll also want to crouch or go prone, reducing your recoil even further. Next, remember what we learned earlier in the video with rotational aim assist. Making sure to strafe while shooting, that's going to make it much easier to land your shots, along with helping to control your gun's recoil. And finally, just remember to practice with a particular weapon. The longer you use it, the better feel you'll get for using it at every range. So you've got the best sensitivity, you're centering your aim, you understand how to take advantage of aim assist, and have great recoil control. The next fundamental secret that you've got to learn is target switching. This is something you'll see the top pro players doing with ease, finishing one opponent and then quickly snapping to the next, accurately and efficiently, making sure they're dishing out the most damage possible to an enemy squad. The first trick to having the best target switching is learning target prioritization, as you'll always want to be firing at the player that poses the largest risk to you, even if you're already firing at another player, as you can always deal with them later. Whenever you target switch, you'll notice that top players very rarely switch whilst aiming down sights. They'll scope out, center their crosshairs to the new target, which you'll already find easier thanks to working on your centering, and then ADS once again. This allows you to take full advantage of the game's aim assist and give you that snappy feeling, as well as being able to leave the aim assist bubble of your other target that little bit faster, making you more reactive, as even if you've downed a player, there's still going to be that aim assist drag on their down body, which could cost you the crucial time to start firing at the next opponent. To practice this even more, I load up into custom games and take a high vantage point and just spend time practicing snapping onto opponents until I'm finally able to do it quickly and efficiently, just like other Call of Duty pros. Now, this next fundamental secret to getting better aim isn't really talked about that much, and it blew my mind when I learned about it. But it helps make sure you're always getting that advantage of rotational aim assist that will track your opponent for you without you even needing to do anything, as well as being able to be as reactive as possible, and it's by having the lowest dead zone possible. So you once again want to head into your settings and put your dead zone to where you get the slightest bit of stick drift, as this will make sure that you're always getting that aim assist even if you're not moving, making it a lot easier to hit your shots. You also gain the advantage of your controller being as reactive as possible to every aim adjustment you make, giving you the edge in gunfights. Now remember, every controller is different, so you'll have to adjust your dead zone to work for your controller. Then, with your dead zone adjusted, you're ready for the final fundamental secret that will combine everything that you've learned in this video and put it to the test, to make sure that your aim is the best it can possibly be, just like the Call of Duty pros. And this is something I've done when I was practicing before tournaments back in Call of Duty Ghosts. Use these settings for a custom match, and then just spend time taking down bots with your favorite loadouts. Make sure that you remember each of the fundamental secrets. Adjust your sensitivity. Make sure you're centering, take advantage of aim assist, control that recoil, fast target switching, low dead zone, and of course, practice. Subscribe for more guides to become the best Call of Duty player you can be. See you next time.